Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hey everybody!
Hey!
Hello.
My name is David Bell.
I'm Tom Ryder.
And I'm Cristian Ramirez.
And we just watched Mission Impossible Fallout. Right?
Your mission. Should you choose to accept it? I wonder, did you ever choose not to? The end you always feared is coming. And the blood will be on your hands. The fallout of all your good intentions.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
There were a couple of times in the movie where characters just vomit exposition, and I was laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ving Rhames
The
part.
part where he's describing to Rebecca Ferguson, like, there's only 2 women in this world that Ethan cares about, and then he basically has like 2 minutes of dialogue explaining where the hell Michelle Monaghan has been for 2 movies.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Or maybe it's 3 movies. No, it's 2.
I forgot the villain, the bearded guy, he's from
Part 5, right?
Part 5. Yeah, I don't remember. I think I only saw that once.
I've only seen it once, but he was the bad guy.
Yeah. Because he was the leader of the Rogue Nation.
Yes.
Oh.
He was the leader of the Syndicate.
So, all right, here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Cruise is psychic. The
Oh,
movie
yeah,
begins
true.
with him having a dream of being on a lake.
Yeah.
With his ex-wife, and a bomb goes off, and I thought, like, okay, well, clearly, like that's it's gonna mean something, but then it was like, no, that's literally what happens.
Yeah.
Just
And
the
it's
scene
like-
at the end.
Yeah, it's
The
like,
bad guy even says the same thing. He said, you should have killed me, Ethan.
yeah, so magic exists.
Wait.
Magic
Yeah.
exists.
Yes, definitely. That's why he's so good at completing impossible missions.
Right.
It's because he has that guidance. He knows what he's trying to get to.
Well, he figures out that Henry Cable is the bad guy
Yeah.
magically.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, there's no evidence to suggest
Well,
that he is.
They always did those weird little gambits.
Yeah.
Did he pulled that on in the first one on John Voight? On the lady who's working with John Voight. He puts on a John Voight mask.
Oh, yeah.
I forget if he had reason to suspect her. I think
I think he was just because she didn't get killed with everybody else in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm wondering now if, like, people have had conversations with other people in confidence and they don't say anything suspicious and they're like, oh, okay. It's me, by the way. It's Ethan Hunt. Like, I was just making sure.
I just
Like, he just-
not talking shit about it.
Yeah, he just does that all the time to people.
Like,
I would.
Just to find out if they really liked his meatloaf.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about Ethan's meatloaf? He rips off his mask.
they just excessively use that
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
technology all the time. Yeah, there really wasn't, besides the reveal to the audience of the phone,
Right.
there wasn't anything for Ethan.
There was no reason because they hadn't let on until that very moment in the dungeon that they made
Right.
out with Baldwin in.
Yeah.
That, somebody gave this dossier to Angela Bassett, the head of the CIA, suggesting that you're secretly
Well-
the villain, John Lark.
We knew.
We knew.
Yeah, it's like he'd seen the movie.
He read the script. It's the only reason he would have known
Yeah.
that Henry Cable was the bad guy.
I mean, we're talking about plot and Mission Impossible.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this movie, as far as I could tell, seemed to have the exact same plot of every Mission Impossible. Right? They have the same plot every time. They even nod to it in this, where he's just like, how many times has he been disavowed?
yeah.
So many times. So let's disavow him, because that's basically what they do again. They're like, we're going to make you the bad. Like, every single Mission Impossible, there's a point.
Disavow him in this movie.
No, but there's always a point in every Mission Impossible where they're like, "It's you're the bad guy," and they go after him, and it's like you gotta think, like, at this point he's just like, "Fuck, guys! Like, how many times have we been through this?"
Yeah.
Henry Cavill's plan is one of those supervillain plans that it should have fallen apart when he fell to his death at the beginning of the movie. Because he did not know that Ethan was going to be able to save him.
Right.
That was an amazing moment.
That part,
Holy shit.
revealing him as the villain makes that entire sequence make absolutely no sense.
Yep.
They basically, what happens is Tom Cruise gets teamed up with Henry Cavill, who's like this CIA agent who's supposed to be watching him, to try and recover these 3 stolen pieces of plutonium, supposedly ripped off by Doc Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Libyans.
Right. And they have to do a halo jump,
Which Tom Cruise actually did. I don't think if the other guy,
Cable,
I don't think Cable did it.
I feel like not as crazy as Tom Cruise.
I'm imagining like Cable was like, oh, so I could do it too. Tom Cruise was like, no, you don't get one.
You don't get to do it. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah, it was CGI augmented, but it was. It always bums me out because I know why they did it. But like, there's some CGI in there because they go through a storm that clearly isn't there.
Yeah,
and it's like I think it would have been cooler to see it without any CGI. But whatever.
Yeah,
they do that all the time. Like
it muddies it a bit.
Iron Man 3 did it too. They had this amazing skydiving stunt that they pulled.
Yeah,
but they had to CG the ground. Like they needed it to look different. So I get it, but it always bothers me for some reason. I'm always like, oh come on, I want to see like an actual. I don't know. It's all the same. He actually did it, and it looks great. So
yeah. And that lightning was like unnecessary to the plot.
He could have bumped his head.
Retroactively making it like
that all makes no sense. So what happens? What happens is they're getting ready to do their halo jump. They open the hatch, and Tom Cruise leans out and sees this like a fucking lightning storm right there, and he turns to old Hank and says, "Look, Hank, we can't do this through here. This is dangerous." So Henry Cavill disconnects Tom Cruise's oxygen hose.
He's just like, fuck you!
It's like, we're doing it, man, and just dives right out in the lightning. And then Tom Cruise has to be like, shit, and like quickly get his oxygen back in so he can dive out after him. And they go into the lightning storm, and he's like, what, are you afraid of a little lightning? And then they immediately get struck by lightning.
It's a comedic moment.
Yeah. And they really clear the cloud cover, and Tom Cruise is like looking around for Henry Cavill and just sees him like just plummeting to the earth, completely unconscious.
Like a fucking dummy.
His air tube is disconnected. So he has to fight over there and reconnect his tube and make sure his chute cuts loose in time.
Yeah.
And
Tom gives him his oxygen.
He does.
Yeah. I thought at that point, because they brought in like Jeremy Renner to be like, he was kind of funny in those. He was like kind of like, he was like green and kind of like funny. And I thought at that point, like, oh, is Henry Cavill like the comic relief of this? Like, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, is that the reveal of this? Is that like?
Well, I was expecting him to be just another Jeremy Renner type character, where they were going to be adversarial at first and then work together. But no, he's just a bad guy.
Yeah.
But so they land and then go to meet this contact. Who's supposedly this guy named John Lark, and then we find out later that Henry Cavill is actually
it's John Lark and the Apostles.
Yes, it is.
I pointed this out because that sounds like a 70s glam rock band.
It sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's the Spiders.
And what's great is in the beginning, they literally say, like, he's John Locke and the Apostles, so your mission, you need to stop John Locke and the Apostles. Like, they keep saying it full, John Locke and the Apostles. Lark. It's like they were daring us.
It's like the director's band.
Yeah. Yes.
So with the revelation that Henry Cavill is the bad guy, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
What?
Why would he jump out of the lightning storm? Like, he has no idea.
His life.
Yeah.
Extra.
Maybe he was a little drunk. Like, maybe the character is just like, I don't know. This is not a movie
that is putting his plan at needless risk for no reason.
The Mission Impossible films, when I was writing for Cracked about these movies, they were my least favorite movies to go back and pick apart.
Sure.
Because it always felt like, of course they make no sense. Of course. They never make sense. Who cares? Like that this was there's never been a Mission Impossible movie where the plot mattered.
Yeah.
To the point that they keep recycling it.
Yeah, it's always a guy who's starting an organization and they're stealing a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah, it's usually
an
a
actual nuke or some sort of. I think it was like Code. The fourth one.
How many like
had?
bombs and missiles has he disarmed in these? A
lot.
lot. So it just, I don't know. It was always about like have a fun villain and have a lot of cool stunts.
Yeah.
Like I really liked Philip Seymour Hoffman when him as a villain. That
movie's trash, but
but his performance really stepped it up.
Yeah.
And have like a face mask sequence and have them do cool spy stuff.
Which all of that is in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful scene toward the beginning where they've captured this evil nuclear scientist who built the bombs for the bad guys. And Tom Cruise is like, I want to just give me 5 minutes alone with him. I just want to go, and then Ving Rhames has to hold him back. And I just realized very suddenly that this is two guys in their mid-50s arguing over whether or not to beat a restrained man on a gurney.
Yeah. I'm so happy. I called it in theater because they're watching the news.
Yeah.
And it's Wolf Blitzer announcing that nukes have gone off already. And it was like, wow, this is dark start.
Yeah.
And then the realization where they're like, we just need you to open the phone. And I was like, it's fake Blitzer. And it absolutely was fucking Simon Pegg in a Wolf Blitzer mask.
I forgot for a second about the masks. So
right.
Blitzer walks over. I was like, did they hire Wolf? Does Wolf Blitzer have a top secret security clearance?
I was hoping that was it.
It's just Wolf Blitzer with his weirdly tiny hands. Working with the Impossible Mission Force.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I love that they're called the Impossible Mission Force.
I love that the crack team of the Impossible Mission Force tasked with routinely saving the world is all guys pushing 50.
Right. And they do nothing right. Like, they screw up constantly.
Yes.
Their first, the first mission starts with them getting struck by lightning. And then they go in to extract that guy, and they just get their asses kicked by him and have to shoot him in the face out of desperation.
They don't even shoot him.
Yeah.
It's Rebecca Ferguson and saves their lives.
And then they're like, well, we can't copy his face anymore. So, like, he just keeps going.
Yeah.
And then he's suddenly, like, helping a robbery and to like, get the bad guy and, like, it's just
a kidnap.
Yeah, it's just a one fuck up after the next.
The very first mission we see is when the bad guys get the plutonium from them because they leave it in the street.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. They're very
leave it in
bad.
The fucking road.
Yeah.
They're very bad.
Just 3 cores of plutonium.
Oh my god! What a great film.
Yeah, it's I love that. Yeah, the crack world saving team is a bunch of guys in their 50s and Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah, and just carrying them.
One Rebecca Ferguson is worth all 3 of them for most of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I love this scene in the end when she's been apprehended by the villain and Simon Pegg comes in to try to free her and disarm the bomb. That guy just kicks his ass like
just hangs him.
Hangs him. Literally. With a noose.
That's never... you got your ass kicked when the bad guy, when the person you're fighting has time to set up a pulley system and hang you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good God.
Jeez.
What was her... Because she was in, I assume, the earlier films.
She was in the last one.
Yeah, she was in Rogue Nation.
She wanted to kill the beardy McTerrorist.
Yeah.
What's his name? He's been in things.
Sean Harris.
Okay. And then she keeps wanting to kill him to the point that Tom Cruise has to hit her with his car. And then there was this weird moment where she was just suddenly working and fighting along them, and I couldn't figure out what had happened. Like, maybe I missed it. Like, how did she just suddenly start being... Because I thought it was going to be this conflict throughout where it's like...
It's when... It's during the scene in the dungeon where they punk Henry Cavill.
Right, and then Alec
his
Baldwin
CIA
gets
guy
shanked.
shows up and he stabs the fucking hell out of Alec Baldwin.
That was a shame.
Bleed to death in a sewer.
And she comes to save their asses again.
And then from that point on, she's with them.
Okay, so she's just like, I'm not going to try to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Even though she really needs to. Like, that's her...
Yeah.
She only gets her life back that way.
She has to... Well, there's that sequence where she's choking the Sean Harris, and meanwhile Simon Pegg is hanging, so she has to be like, I can't.
Oh, right. But she could have saved him and then just killed him.
Strangling.
Yeah.
Oh, he's passed out. All right, have a second. Now back to you.
I was sad that Alec Baldwin died. He was basically doing his character in 30 Rock. Did you kind of notice that? Like, he felt like he was 30 Rock Alec Baldwin in this.
I don't know. He was just a ludicrous character to me.
Yeah, well, he was in the previous ones.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them. They keep changing it. I think they got Anthony Hopkins for the second one, and then they had Lawrence Fishburne for one of them, and they had Alec Baldwin for one, where, like, they keep doing these weird cameos of the head. Like, again, the organization, the IMF is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's a really clear sign if you're working for a shitty company. Your boss keeps constantly changing.
Well, it's like when they pull off that stunt and they just... She's like, oh, I see why you guys like to do this. And like, welcome to the team, sir.
Yeah, that was great.
Right.
That was great because I was like, wait, I thought he was already... I thought he was
he's
in charge of the team.
Yeah. He's running this shit.
Yeah. It's a ludicrous agency. Like, I'm imagining someday, like, Congress sitting down and being like, I'm sorry, how much money are we giving this? The Impossible Mission Force?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
Rubber masks?
Yeah.
There's a scene, I know this isn't the same movie, in the previous one, the one where he climbs the tower in
that's
Dubai.
Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol. That's one of those hilarious ones because that's... I don't know if I should go into this. It's the most nonsensical scene, I thought, because the reason he climbs that tower makes no sense. Because they're doing, and again, this is them recycling a plot. They'll do the thing where they're the buyers and, like, the bad guys are selling them something, which they do in this movie, and then Tom Cruise is going to assume the identity, and the face mask thing breaks, which is exactly what happens in this one.
Yeah.
But then what they were going to do in that one is they were going to give them diamonds in exchange for, like, codes that they were going to scramble and give to them.
Yes.
And it was two different parties, and then their scrambler thing breaks and their face thing breaks. Mm-hmm. So, like, Tom Cruise has to, like, climb up to do the thing, and at that point, they're just doing the exchange that, like, the people were gonna do in the first place. So there's no reason for them to be involved. Like, they don't have to assume the identity of anybody, because they're like, okay, we'll do the exchange and then we'll follow them after. And it's like, then don't do the exchange. Like, have them do it. You don't have to be involved. But no, he climbs the fucking tower. Yeah. They're so bad at their jobs.
And that happened in this movie, too. They end up doing the exchange anyways. Tom Cruise takes the guy's place to do the exchange. And then he diverts things to make it to where he doesn't have to kill anybody. But
he
just
does have to ram a SWAT van into it.
Yeah.
Which he did not know those SWAT officers were going to get out of the van.
No.
Nope.
It's madness. It's madness. And I love it because it leads from one awesome action sequence to the other.
The chases were really good in this. I really liked the sound design and everything was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. It was legit, like, that whole chase scene in I guess it was London.
Yeah.
It was Paris.
They were in Paris and London. That's about it, right?
Yeah, Paris is where he
and
grabs
Kashmir.
Sean Harris, right?
Yeah, that's where they ran the truck into the river.
Yeah. So when he's doing the motorcycle chase, I was like legit like, Jesus, man, slow down.
Yeah,
like,
and it kept going.
Sipping in and out there. I'm like, you're in your 50s, man.
Yeah, I loved how they did it because again, it was almost comedic where it was just like one thing after another after another, and then they finally like. They're on the boat and they open the garage and there's just a cop standing there.
Just writing a ticket.
It would have been amazing. The whole point of that scene is he doesn't want to shoot the cop and like, but it would have been amazing. They're like, oh, let's shoot her. I'm 50. Let's just shoot this cop.
I can't.
He has his little Indiana Jones moment.
Yeah. To kill an innocent cop.
Yeah.
The foot chase, too, when he's running on the rooftops and shit.
Yeah.
Great.
It's hard to make a foot chase, especially when there's, like, he's chasing someone else that's not present.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
like,
so
they made
away.
it very exciting.
And he has
All
to
the
run
action.
across it was a good bit that for a little while that when Simon Pegg is guiding him, he's telling him where to go, but doesn't realize that Tom Cruise is on the rooftops.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's just like, just turn down that street. He's like, all right, hold on. He's like, leap across the building.
They really did action very, very fucking well. And it's mostly because it's actually being done by people and vehicles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was it had a really impressive car chase. How long was that whole sequence?
Long. The helicopter chase was long, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was impressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2.5 hour movie, but like
It's a long movie.
Yeah.
they spend enough time on the action that
Right,
Yeah.
but it doesn't drag.
it felt like did it take like 20 minutes for the credits? Like the cold open of this film was very long.
Oh,
Yeah, because the credits don't actually play until after Fake Wolf Blitzer reveals himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just...
It would have been great if it was
just-
real
if it
Wolf
was real.
Blitzer, and then he was there for the rest of the film.
He's just one of the team members.
Yeah, he's just there next to Ving Rhames, like in the van.
Yeah.
Don't do anything stupid, Ethan. Like, just, yeah. Oh, man.
Thanks, Wolf.
Giving exposition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just belching out exposition.
Oh,
Listen, Ethan
so-
can't tell you how much he really cares about you. that sequence was laughable.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to pick a favorite ridiculous moment in the movie, but definitely when Wes Bentley shows up at the end as Michelle
Sure.
Monaghan's new husband.
Oh, yeah. What do I know him from?
He's
American
been
Beauty.
doing a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and he's just like, hey, everybody, how's it going?
Yeah.
Hey guys,
I'm so nice. And
yeah,
like,
he's the nicest dude.
I don't know what's going on. I'm a really nice guy.
Yeah,
Oh, I also know him from he's in Ghost Rider, right? He's the bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's Blackheart. I think that's the villain in Ghost Rider.
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yes,
might be
that's
right. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, that was pretty great.
yeah, just shows up.
Yeah.
Just a doctor.
Hey, everybody.
In India.
Yeah, at the
They
end.
didn't need him to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, good for him.
I'm sure Wes Bentley appreciates that.
Yeah,
guy.
good for him getting paid for
Last
that.
time I saw him in a movie, he was drowned in Interstellar.
He sure was.
Just floating face down on a planet full of...
That seemed like that could have been the end of his career. Just floating face down and just like, and that's the end of Wes Bentley.
Bye.
Everybody say goodbye.
Remember when he watched a trash bag dance?
Oh, that movie did not age well.
No.
Particularly
Not
not,
at all.
for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even the Kevin Spacey, like if it was another actor, it's still the courageous story of a guy trying to fuck his daughter's friend.
Right, and then
exactly.
courageously saying no at the last
Yeah.
minute. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's,
He's
What
a-
a hero.
he's a real piece of shit.
that movie's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, that's an awful movie.
Oh God, yeah, that's pre 9/11, right? That's
Oh, yeah,
that
yes,
beautiful
yes,
like
yes.
that in Fight Club where it was people like, I don't like having stuff. Like I'm a white guy who's well off. It
Yeah.
sucks.
I'm tired of working my nice. I'm gonna quit and work at a McDonald's.
Yeah, it's like fuck
Well,
you,
yeah, you had your house already paid for, you fucking fuck.
fucking baby boomer piece of crap.
You resource hog and piece of shit.
Oh, that's
You
not
bloody turd.
that's not this movie.
Yeah, it's
No.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
That's what Mission Impossible.
Why? Okay, the two nukes thing I thought was going to be more clever because they have two nukes and a detonator, and the idea is that if you try to dismantle one nuke, it sets off the other.
one. Yeah.
Right.
But what's the loophole they find there?
You
Because
take the key out. You take the
Detonator,
firing
yeah.
key, and then
okay, so you can screw around in the guts of the nuke, which is something they do.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't. If you disarm one of the nukes, the other
Yeah.
goes off automatically. So they have to take the key. That Tom Cruise gets the key. But I guess when I heard there was going to be two nukes, I thought like, oh, they're going to be on. Like if I were a terrorist and I had two
Put them in
nukes,
different places.
yeah, I wouldn't put them in the same place.
Right.
Right, it seems overkill.
It's weird. They didn't need to do that, but they were, sure enough, they were both in the same camp.
Yeah. And they also know that IMF is chasing them.
Yeah.
So why would they put 2 nukes in the same place?
It just it was a bad plan.
Man, they had it all planned already.
Yeah.
It's too late in the game to start changing things up.
I thought they were gonna do like one in London, one in fucking New York or something. I don't care where.
Yeah,
and then they would have to like be on their cell phones coordinating it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fake out made sense when they said, Rome, Jerusalem, and Mecca had been blown up. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, that's, if you're a terrorist anarchist, then that's something you
would
do. Hates religion.
Instead, they're just like irradiating China's water supply.
Yeah.
Which is it's boring, but I guess it is efficient.
Yeah, China and India.
Yeah.
Because they're right in Kashmir. And
and it's very generic terrorism, right? It's just that like a better world will grow from the ashes, kind of stuff.
Right, like the idea of bombing the 3 holy capitals of the 3 biggest religions in the world kind of made more sense.
I thought so. Yeah, that's what. That's the thing is they have a generic. Their ideology is so generic that I thought that what they were going to do was going to be more grandstanding, in a way, and not like this weird plan to irradiate water.
Yeah.
It just, I thought they were going for chaos.
Yeah, that's almost like the Goldfinger plan to irradiate the world supply of gold.
Well, so they have to buy gold from him.
Well, that's and that's the thing
it's Lex Luthor's plan.
This
Lex Luthor, sorry.
I mean, that's Goldfinger's plan, but like Lex Luthor's plan is to sink the stuff so everybody has to buy land.
That's the thing. This what this seems like. It seems like this is step one of some way to like make money or something.
Yeah, like or if they had been like part of the world's overpopulated and it's time to then that would have made sense.
But they have the generic like we're trying to bring it all down to bring a better world. You'd think they'd want to do that. Excuse me. You'd think they'd want to do that in like a really grandstanding way, and then like be like, "It was us, we did it," and like.
And then read their manifesto and stuff. And,
Again, like the fake plot with fake Wolf Blitzer at the beginning, where it's like, that made more sense. Where it's like bombing the 3 holy capitals and being like, well, now they'll be united against a common threat. It's Watchmen. It's like,
and these apostles are like guaranteed sequels, because he's just going to, there's going to be, but what is all that? What are they doing? Is it an email chain where they're all like, we're going to take down the world, and it's like, hey, my guy over here, we got a nuclear bomb, and we're doing it.
I don't know. Cable does say he has no way of contacting the other apostles.
Right. Yeah.
So that's not like, if they have no way of contacting each other, how are they going to plan anything?
Are they just funding it? Are they producers? Yeah, that's what I mean. Are there other people doing stuff, or like
way to run your anarchist plot?
And they're all like ex-operatives or something? Like
they're all ex-agents from different
intelligence agencies.
That's a hell of a fucking turn. That they were all operatives who happen to all want anarchy. Like, it's a very weird situation.
Like, they were just all at a conference, and they managed to meet each other. Being
they're just kind of like standing around at like the mixer afterwards, and like kind of looking around like, so fuck this, right? I was waiting for somebody else to say it.
He just got tired of hearing Alec Baldwin's shit.
Yeah.
He was head of the CIA.
I mean, working for Alec Baldwin would probably make me want to go rogue.
Yeah.
Spend a year under that guy's thumb and be like, fuck the world! Burn it down!
Gonna give everybody smallpox. Fuck this guy. But the smallpox, so the smallpox was just a diversion tactic to get Tom Cruise's ex-wife to go to that part of India.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think the idea was to set up camps there, and then Henry Cable came in and gave her specifically a bunch of money to go there because Sean Harris wanted revenge on Ethan.
Right.
It's like, well, I'm going to do my nuke, and then also Michelle Monaghan will get vaporized. And Wes Bentley, but look, nobody cares.
Nobody cares about him.
He already drowned in space. How'd you pull that off, Wes? The It drowned in space.
What a fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's a man.
It's delightful.
Yeah, I
mean, it's the plot is ridiculous.
I think all Mission Impossible movies, like, you can comfortably fast forward through any scene where they're not fighting.
Where they're talking.
Yeah. And you can still understand what the plot is, I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, Henry Cavill's bad now. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
He's being chased by Tom Cruise. Okay.
There are some good beats in those chases.
Yeah.
Like when in the foot chase, when he finally catches up to him and is hanging on the bottom of the elevator, and he's just looking down at him like, really? And then just pulls out a gun.
It was so good.
What was your plan, dude?
Yeah. And but this is also a thing that I don't think ever was resolved. Is in that scene he doesn't shoot him, and Tom Cruise is like, "You can't do it, can you? Because you still need me to make the trade, like to trade Sean Harris for nukes." And he's like, "Yeah, you're right." So he puts the gun away. But he just kind of goes directly to the camp with Sean Harris, and they have their bombs already set.
I was going to say, he gets on the helicopter, and he's there already, and they just... Yeah,
you need Tom Cruise for anything.
Should have
shot him in the face, Hank.
That's the writers getting to that point, and they're like, well, we can't get rid of this. This is great.
Because it was Sean Harris's guy to kill, I guess,
I don't know.
The thinking?
I don't know. I think the idea is they wanted him to go to jail and see that it's that thing.
That's right. He couldn't get the nukes from Sean Harris without delivering Ethan to him.
This was something I know I wrote about this at Cracked that we started doing for villains, and it's very convenient, is that the villains don't want to just kill the good guy. They want to break their spirit now.
Yeah.
And show them and prove to them that everything's like hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
It like started with the Joker, and like Bane did it.
Yeah.
And like I think didn't even in Skyfall, the villain in that, it was kind of the same way.
Sort of. He just wanted to kill M, and he does.
Right, that's true. Oh, so he wins.
He got what he wanted.
Yeah. Good for him. Yeah. But like, it felt like that. It was like, we want you to see it happen, and it's like, fucking why? Like, just shoot him in the face.
Yeah. Captain America: Civil War did that.
Yeah.
Well, I actually kind of liked that twist.
That was the best version.
Because he wanted them to self-destruct.
Yeah.
Because he achieved his goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Baron Zemo wins in Civil War. And I guess it makes sense for the Joker because he's just like...
Yeah, the Joker started it.
He has that scene. And he's always been that way. Where he's like, I don't want to kill you.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll kill everyone else.
Yeah. But it's a very convenient.
But it's very convenient. It's also convenient. And they tiptoed close to this, but didn't quite do it, which is good. Where it's like the bad guy wanted to be caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they do a little of that?
That was all part of his plan. When he was being tortured by the CIA
for the past 2 years. When did he hatch this plan? I guess it makes sense knowing that he had, because Henry Cavill says that Sean Harris has been in CIA custody, and he's CIA agent, so he was probably facilitating the communication.
Yeah, it's clear that the CIA and other places have been infiltrated.
Yeah. They have enough to form a whole group of apostles for former intelligence agents who want to burn the world down.
So fucking weird.
The helicopter chase is dope.
Yeah. When he's climbing the payload.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's another scene.
Oh, that was
like where he slips. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The shots, again, it really feels like they were going for comedy with a lot of this. The shots of Henry Cavill like sitting in the helicopter, like just like keeping to himself, and you can just see in the background Tom Cruise climbing
and
the
guys
behind
getting
him.
thrown out of the helicopter.
And he's just sitting there.
It must be for laughs.
And then, of course, the part where he sees Tom Cruise piloting the plane and gives this little shrug look and goes into the back and just grabs
pulls out this giant machine gun. And then cuts to Tom Cruise like, oh shit!
It's so good.
Yeah, and then he gets this little kind of like all right.
Yeah.
Get my machine gun.
Man.
Tom Cruise tried to drop that payload on the helicopter above a lake.
Yeah.
How was he going to recover the detonator?
I don't think he cared.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
I think, his thoughts were just like, I'm gonna. Yeah, you're right. Because even if he tries to rummage through, it's Yeah, at the bottom of a lake.
It's going to take him longer than 15
Again, he's
minutes
not
to
a good
land
agent.
and get
Swim
into
to the
that
bottom of the
flaming helicopter wreckage or sunken helicopter
Yeah.
wreckage.
Exactly.
They're not good agents. It's not a good organization. It's really fucking. They're really fucking messy.
They're very lucky.
Yeah, they're very lucky. They're
Yeah.
very lucky. So when they crash and they have that fist fight on the cliff,
Mhm.
and the detonator's just on the edge, and when they come to, like, Henry Cable's in between Tom Cruise and the detonator, why don't you just kick the detonator over the edge?
I don't know.
Cruise would have dove off the cliff after it.
Yeah, I didn't know if Henry
Presumably,
Cable
that's
was
what
like
happened.
focused on it, or I don't know.
Right, because half of he became
Yeah.
Two-Face at the end.
Yes. It's Two-Face / cliffhanger at the end, because I was getting some serious cliffhanger
There's some
vibes
serious
off of that.
vibes, yeah.
And he just brutally gets a fucking hook
Because
in
of
his
his
face.
face.
That was great too.
intense.
Because I thought, because once the helicopter was hanging from the cliff from a hook,
Yeah.
through impossible coincidences
Yeah.
to get us to that point, I was like, oh, they're going to cliffhanger. They're going to land on that helicopter
Yeah,
and fucking duke it out there. And instead, they're like climbing the side of the cliff. And I was like, okay, there's still going to be like some sort of climactic battle. And Tom Cruise is just like, I wonder if I pull on this. And he just yanks on the thing, and the hook just goes straight into his face, and that's it. Like, that was so. I don't know. It was lovely, but it was
great,
very unexpected. It's the equivalent of if he had taken out a gun and just shot Henry Cavill in the
Right in the
face.
face.
Just like, oh, right, I have a gun.
Right.
Murdered by fucking helicopter hook. It was pretty good.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and then he goes spinning off and smashes off a rock.
Yeah.
And then his body bounces from that
Into
rock
the flames.
into the flaming helicopter wreckage.
It was pretty good.
It's like, wow, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's not going to be in part 6.
No. Oh, I hope he is. I hope it's
He
like
should look the other
half of his face.
burnt.
Yeah. He becomes like a Bond villain.
He was
Man.
a Bond. This was a Bond movie.
Yeah, this was a Bond
Yeah,
movie.
very much.
It was
But
worth,
like License to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton Bond.
Yeah, like Angry Bond.
it was definitely worth the mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That mustache is
If
worth
people
every
were
penny.
wondering, if all the CGI in Justice League was worth the mustache in this, it absolutely was.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would we have known he was evil otherwise?
Without the mustache.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's a great mustache.
They dance around it for a little. The reveal comes pretty quickly.
Yeah, the moment he does the phone thing,
phone
it's just
thing,
like,
that's
oh,
it,
okay.
But he doesn't have a full goatee. It's a mustache and then like
Scruff.
a bit of beard stubble, so you're not totally sure.
Yeah, he could have shaved it off halfway
If it
through.
was a
and it becomes
goatee,
good.
then you'd be like, he's evil.
Yeah.
Mustache and scruff means that you're a double agent.
Yeah, yeah, possibly. You're playing both sides.
I was disappointed that he cocked his fists just to get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sequence in the trailer. Like, first of all, I thought he was fighting Tom Cruise in
Then
that
they
sequence.
deliberately make it look like
Yeah.
this.
And so it was like that, and then it just looks so badass. And then it's the realization of, like, all the damage being done is just this dude we never really meet. Like, he's just some, like,
He's the
God.
fake John Lark, but
Yeah.
he's a karate master.
Yeah, he just happens to be
Beats
a
these
fucking-
two guys. He pulls a sink pipe out.
Wait, so
Yeah.
Henry
He almost killed
Cavill...
both of them.
Yes, he
Henry
does.
Cavill was in on that?
No, he hired
that guy.
He hired a guy to stand in as John Lark for him, but
Right.
I'm assuming they have never met each other. So
Right.
like that guy doesn't know that Henry.
So
Cavill's
I'm
John
imagining
Lark.
Henry Cavill, like, he like, went to hire this guy, and they're like, so you need him to look anyway or have any skills? Like, no, just any old guy's fine. And then that happens.
Yeah, they hired
It's like,
one of the guys from the stunt team in the raid.
Yeah.
And he beats these two guys like fucking rugs.
And
It
that's
was
like the
amazing.
second time in the first half hour of the movie that Henry Cavill, the villain of the movie, almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole sequence, because again, they're very bad at this.
Yeah.
Because when they're in the nightclub, it's just like, okay, like if I was in that nightclub, I'd be like, oh, check out those CIA agents over there. Like they just, they stand out. They don't even
Right.
try to blend it. And it's everywhere they keep doing that.
Right. They're in suits and they're clearly talking to earpieces.
Yeah, and they're like looking for people.
Yeah.
It's, oh man.
And like the first thing Henry Cable does is break the face mapping machine against the bad guy's head.
Oh my god. The one thing they need.
Yeah.
I can't tell at that point because he's evil, but I don't know if what he wants out of that moment.
Yeah.
If he's like, oh, I need to kill this guy, or
I don't know. It's not clear.
It's hard to fucking tell what his plan is.
Yeah.
I guess
again, he was
the White Widow to be a broker for the nukes.
He wants to get that guy out.
And he's trying to frame Tom Cruise.
All right. So I just don't know. I don't know what he was just struck by lightning. So maybe he's just like, I am really fucking out of it right now.
He got struck by fucking lightning.
I can't believe someone got struck by lightning in this film. That is insane.
He's just falling, just like a stupid dead asshole, just straight towards the earth.
It would have been amazing if his character just died right there.
Yeah. Oh man!
Holy shit!
I mean, it was a delightful movie.
Yeah,
and it's just fun.
Yeah, that club, the second club fight scene was pretty fun too with Vanessa Kirby.
Where she stabs the almighty hell out of that dude with her butterfly knife.
Right, he's just holding the guy, and she's just like, thanks.
Fucking buries it into his heart, and then stabs another guy in the face.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a nice addition.
Yeah, that was a neat character.
Yeah. Yeah, she was fine.
Her goofy ass brother.
Yeah. Who didn't have no consequence to him, did he?
No.
He just was there, being a dipshit.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a fucking dipshit.
Asshole brother.
This is my dickhead brother. He breaks people's bones for me.
Oh my god.
Wears a lot of rings.
That's another Mission Impossible thing wasn't there like, in the first one there's that like go between criminals that are like,
yes.
There's that. They do that a lot too. Like
Vanessa
the criminals are sort of
the first one?
What?
Is it Vanessa Redgrave in the first one?
I don't know.
I think so.
I just remember like him being in a car with a hood over his head and
pretty sure
it has like
it's her. Yeah,
it's one of those reveals where it's like a guy name or like something, and then it's a woman.
Yeah, that's right. I forget what it was, but you're right. It was a man's name.
It was like Charlie,
something like that,
or something like that.
Yeah.
You remember the head of the IMF in the first movie is the stepdad on Sharp Objects.
Is it?
Yeah, Henry Cerny.
Oh, okay.
The guy that's just listening to records in every episode of Sharp Objects.
He's got it all figured out in that show.
He does.
He's the only one who's just like, I'm staying the fuck out of this.
Shows up to give Amy Adams roses in a white linen suit.
Yeah.
We should do a podcast about Sharp Objects.
Yeah, I mean, once the season's over.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, watching that show, I was like, oh yeah, that's the head of the IMF.
Wait, is he the guy who has like dinner with Tom Cruise, where he breaks up with Tom Cruise in a public place?
Yeah, he's
and
the
then
guy,
Tom Cruise breaks all the fish tanks in response.
He's the guy that you think is the bad guy.
Yeah,
I reveal it's John Voight.
It's John Voight. It's always John Voight.
It's always John.
How could it not be?
Yeah, the thing that I remember the most from Mission Impossible 1 is Emilio Estevez getting murdered by an elevator.
Oh,
elevator
so good.
claw?
So fucking good, right in the face.
Electrified elevator
He doesn't
claw?
even try to dodge it.
No, he just stares at it.
Yeah, and it just
hypnotizes
takes him right in the face. I love that first movie. I enjoy all these, but I liked the first one because it was a fucking Brian De Palma noir spy thriller. Mm-hmm. And it was like, that's great. I really liked it, but you could tell like there was some element, like it felt like it was Brian De Palma wanting to make that, and there was some producer like, okay, but we need them to fight on a train, and then just like
action. Yeah.
All right, I guess we can have that too. And then John Voight climbing on a train with goggles. It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
He's
got little goggles.
Speed happened first. Speed 94, Mission Impossible 96.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they saw that train fight, and we're like, we want a train fight too.
Yeah, we can do this better. Instead of the bad guy getting his head knocked off by a light,
John Voight gets like launched into a helicopter. It's so funny whenever
super murdered.
That's one of those.
That's confused face looking up at it.
Yeah, there was a moment of that in this because whenever the villain or whenever it's that kind of matchup. And this, it was Alec Baldwin versus Henry Cavill, where it felt like Baldwin was like, just give me a few good hits if you're going to kill off my character. But it was one of those where it's like, what are you doing, Henry?
It's one of those improbable things. It's like, I don't believe you hit him once.
Yeah, Henry, he should have immediately executed.
Right, I believe you break your hand hitting that man.
Yeah.
He's Superman.
He felt more Superman-y. He felt if this character or if Superman were mad at me, I think I'd be more scared of this character.
Yeah.
Because he's very angry and brutal, but he's also an idiot. He gets struck by lightning.
He does.
So it's like he's not a guy you want to fuck with because he will do anything. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. He sure doesn't.
Yeah.
What a great villain.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, what a film. He gets his face turned to hamburger at the end.
Yeah. It's fucking hooking the face.
Right in the face. That was one of the wildest bad guy deaths.
This is what made this movie so good is it has that old school action movie feel where it's just ridiculous. They go for it.
And it's a lot of...
They have great action, but then they do stuff where it's like, what if the bad guy gets a hook to the face?
Yeah.
That's fucking
It's
great.
a bunch of shit I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
Like that helicopter chase, I've never seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Crashes one helicopter, another helicopter, and then the escalation of the wreckages that keep tumbling into each other.
I've never seen Henry Cavill get struck by lightning while
falling towards the earth like a goddamn doll. Just... You stupid dick. You're afraid of a little lightning, immediately get struck by lightning. It's that meme.
So
it's that meme of the "What are you gonna do? Stab me?" Guy who was stabbed. Alec Baldwin's death was funny.
Yeah.
He's like, and then he slowly closes one eye.
Yeah.
I think he's forgotten how to be dramatic.
Yeah. That's why it really he felt like 30 Rock. Alec Baldwin.
Yeah,
it felt like it was. I forget that character's name. Jack.
Yeah.
It felt like whenever he was being dramatic, it felt like he was being funny, fake dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He was mocking.
He's done that and the stupid Trump caricature on SNL for that's all he's done for the last couple of years. So it's like, okay, so he only remembers how to be loud and over the top.
Yeah, which is I don't know if he does it. He needs to do like another Malice, or like he needs to be like the bad guy in a thriller.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know.
He definitely rattled off exposition.
He should be in the Glengarry Glen Ross sequel when that happens.
Which one?
If when there's a Glengarry Glen Ross sequel, because we know it's coming. We know it's coming. He's got to be in that.
Yeah, but I guess if you're going to have any two people rattle off exposition, Ving Rhames has a good voice.
Yeah.
And Alec Baldwin really intensely good.
They're both Is Alec Baldwin the same age as Tom Cruise?
About.
Yeah, because that's the thing I noticed. Same with Ving Rhames is they both look fine. They just look like humans aging.
Yeah.
So it's like when you put him next to Tom Cruise, it's like he's just a vampire.
Right. Yeah. Possible Faustian Bergen.
Yeah. There's definitely something going around Hollywood. Like Keanu Reeves does it too. Like some sort of procedure, like in Death. What's that movie? Bruce Willis. Death Becomes Her. Like there's some clinic out there run by vampires or something that's going on.
Right.
That these actors
run by wizards.
Yeah.
There is a sequence, I pointed it out to Dave when we were watching it, but it's when he's doing the foot chase across the rooftop.
Yeah.
It's the only time in the movie that Tom Cruise really kind of showed his age. He has to jump across one of the gaps he has to jump across. He broke his leg while they were filming it.
Yeah.
And you see him kind of limp when he gets up. And then the very next shot, he has visibly gained weight in his face. So it's like, oh, okay.
He was clearly off his feet for a little while.
He was off his feet for 6 or 8 weeks, and then they went right, as soon as he was able to walk, they went right to do the rest of that sequence. And it's like, oh.
They showed something
now you look like a Norm Macdonald.
Right.
Now you look like a guy in his 50s. He's
I would
a little
love
puffy.
to see Norm Macdonald do this.
Doing all of this shit, climbing up that helicopter.
Being Norm Macdonald the whole time. Now, the part I had heard when he made that jump, he wasn't even supposed to accidentally miss. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. I watched them. I watched the footage of them filming it.
Yeah.
And like, I couldn't tell if it was like he was supposed to make the jump or not.
Or if he was supposed to. You mean if he was supposed to short it?
Yeah.
And catch the
Yeah. That feels like if he was supposed to short it, they would have done more like safety measures.
They would have padded it a little bit.
Yeah, something. But you can watch, because I know he's brought that footage around. You can watch it when it's slow mode. His leg just folds.
Yeah.
When he lands. Yeah.
Oh, God. You're old, Tom.
He's
Stop
fine.
it, Tom.
He's doing
Your
fine.
bones aren't as dense as they used to be.
He will do it until his skeleton powders.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Inside of his body.
This is what he lives for.
And then he just becomes a sack of flour.
Yeah.
If they ever have a Tom Cruise stunt show, he will star.
Yeah.
Right, it'll just be him. He'll be 65 years old, doing 3 shows a day at MGM. The Tom Cruise stunt spectacular, where he's like fucking getting a motorcycle driven into his face.
Right, just daring audience members to come up and hit him.
Yeah.
Just starting fights with the audience.
Here, try and stab me.
Yeah. That would be great. Okay. Do you have any more thoughts?
No.
No more
It's a
thoughts?
Wonderful film.
Yeah, go see it. Go see it in a theater, I would say. Just the sound and everything. And I mean, I think it's a theater-worthy movie.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a movie you go see in the theater.
Yeah.
You can still see it out of the theater afterwards, too.
Sure.
If you want to see it more than once.
I'm sure it'll be on
fast forward.
TNT in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Just on loop.
Be delightful.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
The John Wooiest of movies.
Yeah. That's the movie that begins Tom Cruise's love of doing the stunts, too, right?
Because
he
did
the cliff.
the free climbing.
Yeah.
Thing.
Also, with Limp Bizkit playing the title.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's that Metallica song in it, too.
Oh, yeah.
That is the most 2000 movie ever made.
So many doves, too.
So many
John
doves.
Woo.
Yeah.
Well, he fucking... All right. That's the one thing that's I think are missing from these new ones. Because it's doves, yeah. No, who's the new guy? Ralph McQuarrie? Chris McQuarrie? He did the last, 3?
Last
two?
two.
And then Brad Bird.
Brad Bird did Ghost Protocol.
And JJ did 3.
And JJ did 3. The first 3, I would say, he would really let the directors just do what those directors did. He made a Brian De Palma movie for the first one. He made a John Woo film for the second. Mm-hmm. And he made a J.J. Abrams film, although J.J. Abrams at the time wasn't really...
It wasn't really any good.
Yeah, but he's always been good about I don't know, this. I liked that the style would change movie to movie, and these new movies, they're great, but directing wise, they just I don't know. Brad Bird, I think since Brad Bird, they've all been very shot in this very generic action way, in a way that's for efficiency of we're just going to film it.
Christian McQuarrie, he wrote The Usual Suspects. He directed Way the Gun.
Yeah. That's the weird part. Is the Way of the Gun is way more unique in the way it's directed. I
think he is an action director, though.
I think so too. I wish there was a little more personality in the in the style in the directing.
I could feel it in Ghost Protocol, because Ghost Protocol feels like an Incredibles movie to me.
Okay,
I should go back and watch that. Yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah, I just feel like this director he's a very unique. I'm glad he's writing them and directing them, and it's just it feels like there could be.
Yeah, I think maybe the way the action is staged is his personality, maybe.
Yeah, they're certainly fucking great movies.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say that they should get another director,
right?
But I liked when the movies were all drastically different.
Right, when they're just wildly different.
Yeah.
Each time.
Like that, the second one is a John Woo film more than it's a Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
film.
he and Dougray Scott leap at each other.
The part where they're doing the car chase and it goes to slow mo and they're like, "Oh man."
That movie.
For better or for worse, it's a John Woo film.
That movie is John Woo as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd love to see him get different directors.
Yeah.
And just let them do it. Get David Lynch. I want a David Lynch Mission Impossible film. fuck it.
So we're gonna do a train chase.
Oh, solid.
But it's gonna be from the train's point of view. And it's just like an abstraction of a train.
I was going to say the whole movie is from the train's point of view.
Yeah. There you go.
Just in the station.
Yeah.
Just not even moving much. Yeah. I'll watch it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, why
It's
not?
Tom Cruise just running as fast as he can, making train noises.
Yeah. He runs in this. He's really
He
running.
hauls ass
He
in
does.
this. He is going flat out.
Yeah.
He's running so hard, I'm afraid for his knees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, Tom, you just broke that leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Just stop.
Slow it down a
You
little.
need to do less high
Just a
impact
little
stuff.
bit.
Well, the first stunt that the stunt that follows immediately follows the stunt where he broke his leg is him jumping 2 stories out of a window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I assume
just
they didn't do
landed?
it in sequence. Like, they probably...
No, they didn't. But it was just
It's painful to think
it's
about.
painful to think about
Because you know what really happened.
right?
And then you know that
just
in
broke
the-
your leg.
Yeah, and you know that then the character's probably really hurting in that
Oh, yeah.
the universe of that sequence.
He's been hit by a car, like, right
Yeah.
before that.
Oh yeah, he flew off of his motorcycle and
And
lived
he's
into
not even like a
fucking
scrape
cistern.
on him.
Nope.
Yeah, not really.
No. Yeah.
I mean, a
Like
man
when he
was
goes-
struck by lightning in this film, so...
When he goes to meet the White Widow, after they spent 5 minutes getting the shit beaten out of them,
He's just
in that
like,
bathroom,
hey, how's it going?
he doesn't have a mark on his
No.
face.
He
I was
really
like, you
doesn't.
tackled a man through the wall.
That guy hit you with a
He
pipe.
hit you with a pipe. He's about to cut your throat with a pipe.
That didn't even occur to me, but
Yeah.
they look fine. And
Yeah.
then they look like they're ready for a night out. Like,
They were getting their assholes beaten open
Yeah.
in that bathroom. Just
and again, one of them has been struck by lightning. Henry Cavill walks into that fancy
he
party.
had to-
He looks like he could be allowed in the White House
Right.
at that point. He looks totally fine. And he's just got struck by lightning
not
and
5
beat up.
minutes before.
He's definitely concussed, nerve damage,
Yeah.
something.
He may have sustained serious cardio damage. He might not have long to live anyway.
Oh my god.
Struck by lightning.
There needs to be one of these action movies where the characters just all stop at once and they're just like, okay, let's sit down. This, we can't do this. This is too
I'm
much.
about to fall apart.
This is too much.
I can't keep this up. I'm
Let's
putting
go.
on a brave face, but I'm
Yeah.
in so much pain.
I have lightning burns on my back. I've had him since the first day we met.
I haven't been able to control my bladder this
Yeah.
entire time. I've just been peeing. It's ever since that lightning struck me. I can't remember my mother's face.
Yeah.
I'm having
Yeah.
some real. I'm losing time. Real
Yeah.
big gaps of
I
time.
need to go to the hospital. Really bad. It'd be amazing if they're on that cliff face and Henry Cavill's just like,
Collapse.
okay, here's the detonator. Just get me to the hospital.
I
My
mean,
face is gone.
Yeah.
Half
Half of my face is gone.
this is in addition to the serious internal damage I sustained after getting struck by lightning,
He's had a rough
after
week
getting touched by God's rage,
while I was plummeting through the sky.
rocketing
already.
towards the earth
Oh
from
my
the
God.
upper atmosphere. We were above the weather.
That's getting struck by lightning, when the lightning didn't have to leave its house to do
No,
it.
you can't.
The
He
lightning.
very well might have collided with the lightning.
Yeah.
He struck
He
the
struck
light.
the lightning, yeah.
Holy shit. What a film.
Just flopping towards the earth.
Oh, shit.
Fantastic.
Okay.
All right, well, I got nothing else to say.
Oh, Christian.
You got any pluggables?
Yeah, you got something to plug?
Oh, yeah, I mean, listen to me on Small Beans, on Twitter, @fanboychristian with no H. Yeah, and I'll be here probably doing other stuff too. Maybe
Yes.
we'll talk about wrestling again sometime.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we definitely need to.
Yes.
Yeah, that needs to happen. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.